Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to another video. So today I thought we'd talk about the 8 best tank mates to keep with your fancy goldfish. So when I mean your fancy goldfish, I mean your double tail varieties as they're more suitable for aquariums. So I'll try and make all these 8 fish as interesting as possible, so stick around to the end. And if you're new here, please consider subscribing to the channel as we do fish related content just like this every 3 days. Without any further ado, let's get started. Okay, so first up are the white cloud mountain minnows, an epic little aquarium fish that are suitable for cold water aquariums, which is why they're a great tank mate for your goldfish. So these fish will thrive in both tropical aquariums and cold water. They do love heavily planted aquariums to have dense hiding places to hide amongst, and they're just really beautiful. The males will have a bit more coloration than your females, but they still look really cool. Now you can feed them anything really, they'll take any small foods. I recommend feeding them live foods for the best coloration, but the white cloud mountain minnows are super peaceful. They're more of your peaceful zebra danio that won't get too excited and chase other fish around, as that's what some danios tend to do. But these white cloud mountain minnows will make a great addition with your goldfish. Okay, so these fish are not a fish. They're called the mystery snails. So they're basically big snails that you have in your aquariums that are yellow and they look really cool. They have an albino body too. Snails, I don't know why they're called the mystery snails, but they do look super cool in aquariums. I know they're just a snail, you might think, but they do make a great addition. They're one of your more active snails, so they're not like the wild snails that just come into your aquarium. They shouldn't be too expensive at your pet stores. They're super easy to breed, super easy to find. They pop out really well in aquariums with that, and they'll strike out with their albino yellow color. Okay, so number 3 are the HILLSTREAM loaches. So they are really fascinating little ones. If you look at their body, they got one of the most fascinating body structures, and the way they adapt to tanks is really cool. They have those fan fins that they use to fan out the eggs when breeding, but they also use it to help keep algae within them so they can eat it. They're a big algae eater and they do eat lots of algae. They mainly just target though the big flat surfaces that you find on rocks and on the glass, that sort of thing. But they still will get rid of a lot of that glass algae that you don't want. Once again, these are bottom dwellers, so your goldfish won't try bothering it at all. Neither will the HILLSTREAM loaches. They only care about the algae, and they won't even fight for the algae either. So keep the goldfish well fed. It won't try have a go at the HILLSTREAM loach. Now this is one of my favorite bottom dwellers out there, the bristlenose catfish. I also mean the peppered bristlenose, all sorts of types out there. But they are really, really fascinating. They look like alien fish in a way. So they will hide a lot, so you just want to make sure you have lots of hiding places throughout the aquarium, and that you have some schooling fish in there as well. But when keeping them with goldfish, if you have like 3 or 4 goldfish, then they'll still come out a lot. Now when you do first get your bristlenose catfish, it will eat all the time, and then as it gradually grows up, it will not eat as much, and once it's fully grown, you have to start feeding them algae wafers and other pellets that will sink to the bottom for them to get their suckers on. I recommend Anubias if you want to find a nice hiding spot for your bristlenose, but if you're trying to breed them, it's not that hard. You just got to get a cave with one open end, and then you just got to let them breed from there. The males will have the long whiskers and the females will have the stunted bristles on their noses. So they're super easy to breed, great ideal fish with your goldfish. They won't bother each other at all, and they'll have a great time together. Okay, so these next fish are starting to become pretty popular. They're called the rice fish. So you can get different types out there, but I honestly love the neon blue rice fish. They look really cool. I don't know their real name, but they are great cold water fish. They do great in outdoor tubs in the winters. The main reason why they do great with goldfish is how extreme the temperatures can go down to with rice fish. Even though rice fish are really small, as long as you have a big group in your tank with your goldfish, the goldfish shouldn't bother the rice fish. And make sure to keep the goldfish well fed though, because if it does get super starved, then it might have a go at your rice fish. So there's a wide variety out there, so you've got different types to choose from, and they should be fairly common in your area. They make a great addition and lots of activity in your tank. And number 6 are the mollies. Normally I put on platies, but for once I thought I'd put on something different. So mollies are very colorful indeed. They got amazing patterning on them. You can get all sorts out there. If you want an orange one, there's an orange one. If you want a red one, there's a red one. So they're easy to breed as they're live bearers, really close to the platies and the swordtails. Mollies are really hardy, so you can even keep them in outdoor ponds in the summer, but mainly inside. Now they won't bother your goldfish because they also get pretty big, so your goldfish won't have a go at your mollies, but your mollies won't have a go at your goldfish, so a great combo. But if you want to breed your mollies, then all you got to do is raise the temperature a little to about 22 degrees to 26, and then you just got to let them breed from there. I did a whole video about how to tell if a live bearer, which applies to mollies, is a male or female. I'll leave the link above. Okay, so if you like roses, then you're going to like the rosy barbs. Rosy barbs are fairly peaceful, although I don't recommend keeping them with long-finned goldfish because the male rosy barbs tend to get really aggressive and territorial, as long as there's lots of hiding spots and areas for your rosy barbs to get all territorial in. Now, rosy barbs are found at most pet stores and also big box stores. They're easy to breed and they do really well outside as well. So they're a great ideal cold water fish. They'll eat anything you feed them, and they prefer a pH from 7 to 8.0, the bit higher pH. And they also do well with any fast-moving fish that can get away from the rosy barb easily. Should be able to live with your rosy barbs as long as they won't attack your rosy barbs, which goldfish won't. So there you go. Now, zebra danios are a bit like white clouds, although they have blue and white striping going along their body horizontally. Now, they do look amazing. They're super active. I don't know how they find all that energy, but it's crazy. So they'll be darting around the tank all the time. There won't be a time where they're not running around going crazy, but they do get a bit overexcited sometimes, so keep them well fed and make sure you have lots of floating plants in the tank, as most of the time they'll hang out at the top of the tank. Make sure you have a tight lid too with these guys, or else they might jump. I've had a few jumpers in this tank before. But if your zebra danio does start bothering your goldfish, then that might be a problem. You might need to separate them. So that can happen sometimes, but most of the time zebra danios should be fine with your goldfish. And these danios can go all the way down to 18 degrees Celsius, so when keeping them in an inside tank, they won't need a heater. So that's a great thing, and super hardy and a great beginner option for you beginners out there. Well, there you have the 8 tank mates for goldfish. If you enjoyed, hit that like button, subscribe for more content just like this. I'll see you all in the next video.